told you?
Yeah, 6:40 we're going to have the
So
award ceremony.
There's some people doing question and answer, you can say, not today.
Oh yeah. Or else I'll meet you in the lobby after the class.
But there I cannot say that.
I will be in the lobby.
Maybe you can get that. Not me.
Yeah?
No, not me. I'm in trouble already.
Interesting. It's a rainy day. It was a rainy day. It was a rainy day in hell. It was a typical nasty day in hell. Okay. Hari Haraya Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha. Hari Haraya Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha. Gopal Govinda Ram Shri Madhusudan. Hari Harvaya Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha. Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha. Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha. Gopal Govinda Ram Sri Madhusudan. Giridhari Gopinatha Madana Mohan. Shri Chaitanya Nityananda Shri Advaita Sita. Shri Chaitanya Nityananda Shri Advaita Sita. Hari Guru Vaishnava Bhagavata Gita. Hari Guru Vaishnava Bhagavata Gita. Haraya Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha. Gopal Govinda Ram Sri Madhusudan. Shri Krishna Bhagavan ki jai. Shrimati Radharani ki jai. Om Ajnana Timirandasya. Om Ajnana Timirandasya. Gyananjana Shalakaya. Chakshurunmilitam Jaina. Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. I was born in the darkness of ignorance, and my spiritual master has opened my eyes with the torchlight of knowledge, actually the ointment of knowledge. Yeah, I offer my respects to him. Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Gita. So today we're having a ceremony for people who've chanted the Bhagavad Gita and learned the whole thing very nicely. So we'll talk about a little bit about Bhagavad Gita. So this is 18th chapter, the conclusion, text 66, which is very famous. Sarvadharman parityajya. Sarvadharman parityajya. Mamekam sharanam vraja. Mamekam sharanam vraja. Aham tvam sarva papebhyo. Aham tvam sarva papebhyo. Mokshayishyami ma asuchaha. And Krishna tells Arjuna in the end, abandon all varieties of religion. Sarva dharman parichaja. You know? Of course, dharma here refers to occupational duties. It's the mala of truth, okay? Now I can't tell a lie, okay? Yeah, okay. Shishindila ki die. Thank you. Wow, very nice. Wow. Abandon all varieties of religion, and the word is dharma, so I think more customary social responsibilities. You have to be a good son, a good daughter, a good student. Then you have to be responsible grihasta and take care of the society and the family. And then later on you're supposed to start traveling around, visiting different family members and going to sacred places. And finally then becoming civil widow, civil dead man, sannyas. You know. And these are all, customary social duties we find all over the world. And everybody has different laws in different countries which, adjust these things in terms of marriage, in terms of student life, things like that. And so Krishna has been discussing. Arjuna in the beginning, he's lamenting. Na sochati na kankshati. He's lamenting about his situation. He's worrying. What should I do? So many things. And Krishna has discussed so many things. He's discussed yoga. He's discussed becoming a wise man. He's discussed becoming a pious man. All these different aspects of life, which philosophers all over the world, they touch on these things. Marcus Aurelius with the Stoics, and St. Augustine and Confucius, and everybody tries to understand these things when we're confronted with so many problems and anxieties. What is Arjuna's problem? Is it the worst problem that ever could exist? It's there in Romeo and Juliet. Yes. Never was there a tale of such woe as that of Juliet and Romeo. It's English, yeah. Prabhupada said you can study Shakespeare in the Gurukula. He was putting things like that. So Romeo and Juliet starts off in fair Verona, which is a very traditional city in Italy, has its heritage, its culture. In fair Verona, where we lay our scene, two families, both alike in dignity, from ancient grudge break forth to new mutiny, and civil blood mix civil hands unclean. So that's the essence of the whole thing. Prahlad Maharaj says to Lord Nrsingadev, I've suffered heat and cold. Right now everybody's suffering rain and different challenges. I had to come here in a little iron box, Nandalal, to get here. I guess a lot of people are watching us online today, maybe, in the comfort of their home. So Prahlad says, I've suffered heat and cold, hunger and thirst, so many austerities and difficulties in life. But he says, the greatest austerity is to be separated from people you love, right? Yes, people you love. St. Francis of Assisi, you know him? There's a city named, what city is named after St. Francis of Assisi? San Francisco. That's a hard one. Yeah, Saint Francis. Yeah, but Prabhupada said he was a bhakta. Yeah, very intense personality. And he said the same thing. He said the greatest challenge is when those people who are supposed to be supporting you and helping you through all these things turn against you. That's the greatest difficulty to tolerate, to put up with. Goes on here. Who else we got? Prahlad Maharaj. I got Prahlad Maharaj, St. Francis. Another one I was thinking of too. Same thing. But it's very universal that this is. We organized a thing in Bombay called the it was the first World Congress for a synthesis of from science and religion in 1984. And the Dalai Lama came and he talked.
And he said, people, they have physical austerities, and but the austerities and the pains of the mind are even greater. For those people kill themselves. They kill themselves. In psychology, my background, they say if you have somebody who loses somebody close to them, who has to change their residence and has to change their job, they are prime candidate for suicide. Those things. Well, how do I work? Who do I know? Where do I live? And then it's too much. Too much. You kill yourself. So in the beginning, Arjuna has to fight with, who's he going to fight with? Duryodhana? Yeah, Duryodhana? Yeah, Dushashana? Yeah, Shakuni? Did these guys ever do anything nice for him? No, so how long has he been waiting to fight with them? 5 years? 1 year? 14 years. 14 years they've been tolerating everything. They all, Bhima, Arjuna, they wanted to fight, but Yudhishthira was just restraining them. If we fight, it's going to be terrible. Terrible. Yeah, terrible. Draupadi wanted to fight. Yudhishthira had to put up with so much. But in the end, it came down to the point where even Dharmaraj, Yudhishthira, accepted, no, now we should fight. And so Arjuna is very happy. Bhima is more happy. They're looking at his watch there, hitting the ground with his club, slapping, laughing his thigh, looking at Duryodhana. 14 years, fellow. I've been, now we're going to have some fun. Every year, you'll see there's a few new revenge movies, right? Hollywood always comes out with a few new revenge movies. Some housewife who gets revenge against all of her family, or some teacher. They have a lot of teachers' revenge movies. I don't have any teachers here like that, You also. Revenge movies, yeah. It's so gratifying, But then what does Krishna do, right? Arjuna says, put me in front of these rascals, right? So I can see them and start to remember them. Yeah, okay, yeah, and get enthusiastic. Okay. So Krishna becomes Madan Mohan, Sambandha, beginning guru. And where does he put him? Does he put him in front of Duryodhana? Does he put him in front of Dushashana? Does he put him in front of Radeya? Where does he put him? In front of Bhishma and Drona. In front of his grandfather and his Sifu, his sensei. Yeah. Did Dronacharya love Arjuna? Yeah. Did Dronacharya love Arjuna more than his own son? Yeah. And then Bhishma, did Bhishma ever do anything bad to the Pandavas? No. So Krishna is saying, okay, you want to fight, everything else, and hey, think about it. This is what it means, And so Arjuna, Krishna was playing Sambandha. He was the guru who connects us up, takes us away from the material attraction. What was Arjuna's attraction? What was Arjuna thinking? What was his gratification going to be? There was one girl whose hair wasn't tied up. Who was that? Yeah. So what was he thinking? At the end of this day, I'll be able to go in front of Draupadi and drop the helmets of these people in front of her and say, all these people who insulted you are dead or defeated. And she'll tie her hair up and say, thank you, Arjuna. Yeah, Draupadi has been the impetus for everything. That's why it all happened, behind her. And Yudhishthira's big brother who was insulted. So he's thinking, it's all Maya. It's all Maya. Social prestige, social fame, social, So, Sambandha, Krishna, Madan Mohan, takes him away from his attachment. He shows him what his attachment is. And then Arjuna is thinking, okay, if I don't want to fight, and he's thinking, not only do I have to kill my grandfather and, my teacher, after this clash, you have to kill your grandfather, okay? Any questions? It's very, very convincing arguments. But also I have to kill my cousins.
Arjuna, they're rascals. They do so many bad things to us and everybody else. But Arjuna, but Krishna, they have all these bad qualities, Krishna. But Krishna, they're my cousins. Yeah. At the end of Peter Brooks, one British director, did a beautiful Mahabharata to try and communicate the thing to Western people. Tamal Krishna Maharaj went with Garuda? Yeah, I think so. They all went there and saw it. It went on for 3 days, 6 hours. 6 hours each session for 3 days. It was produced in Brooklyn, Australia, England. It was very big drama. Then it was made into a movie. And you can find it on YouTube. And very incredible, very profound, and so on like that. So in the end, in the movie, when Bhima has defeated Duryodhana, he's on the ground and he's standing with his foot on his neck, and Yudhishthira comes and says, Bhima, he's our cousin. He was a king. And Bhima goes, yeah. So a very, very intimate relationship. And what to speak of that, not only is he going to kill his cousins, but he's going to kill his nephews. What are they against Arjuna? They're nothing. They have impossible to even stand against him for a moment. So he begins to see this is terrible reaction. And if all the men are dead, what's going to happen to the women? They're not going to be protected from different things, and they'll fall into all kinds of unfortunate circumstances, and everything's going to go to hell, just like Yudhishthira said. Yeah. And so I don't want to do this. I'm going to go away. I'm going to turn away from everything and renounce it all and go to the forest and just sit down and chant Hare Krishna. How big is Arjuna if he was here? My size? Probably about like Arnold Schwarzenegger would, like that. Yeah. Arnold Schwarzenegger could play Arjuna, and what's his name? Sylvester Stallone could play Duryodhana. Yeah. It's like they should have done it. No, yeah. They should have used Huey helicopters instead of chariots. Yeah. Anyway, I got no plan. Yeah. So. He's sitting there and he's thinking, okay, I'll go to the forest and do nothing. And then we have, again, why not bring Shakespeare in here again? What is the most famous phrase from Shakespeare? To be or not to be. People pay $500 to be in the front row to hear Charlton Heston or John Gielgud or somebody say that one line, To be or not to be. That is the question. Anybody know the rest of it? To bear arms against a sea of Kauravas. Yeah. To die, to sleep, perchance to dream. There's the problem. Yeah. For who knows what dreams will come? Yeah. Who would suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, the proud man's fall down, being beaten, for to do different things and carrying heavy loads, but with a bare sword he could finish it all. Yeah. But who knows what dreams may come after we've shuffled off this mortal coil. So Arjuna is going to go to the forest. He's going to chant Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Hare. If Arjuna was here now, right? You're a Sankirtan guy, right? What's your name? Everybody would be, yeah, we're taking over the world in 18 days. You guys with me? Yeah. Yeah, he was like, this incredible person, incredible motivator, an action guy, everything. Yeah. And so he's thinking going to the forest and just chanting on my beads and something like that. And I have to take my mind with me. I got to remember all these things. I got to do all this stuff. So Hamlet says, same problem. I would count myself king of infinite space, bound up in a nutshell, if only I did not have bad memories, bad thoughts. Yeah. So that's the beginning. That's his problem. There's 2 doors he has to go through. Fight the battle or not fight the battle. On one door it says, damned if you do. The other door it says, damned if you don't. So what does he do? Hamlet has no choice. Hamlet's kind of stuck in the same problem. We've done this lecture all over the world. It's extremely successful, showing the comparison. the depth, and Bhagavad Gita's people buy, you know. Yeah. So what is Arjuna's solution? Sanskrit. Sisyas teham sadimam tvam prapanam. I am your disciple. I am surrendered unto you. Please instruct me. Yeah. Duryodhana and everybody else could just put their swords up. It's all over. That's it. Yeah, it's finished, right? You surrendered to Krishna. Yeah. And now Krishna is going to remove the greatest difficulty in the battle, which is his doubts, his lack of enthusiasm. He didn't give him a super weapon. No. He simply gave him pure intelligence, clarified intelligence. And that's what wins battles. Yeah, yeah. Okay, and then Krishna goes through and starts to, first off, he tells him the ideas you have are, poppycock. Some of the phrases you can say. Was sochayanam vasochastram naru pandita, something or other. Yeah. He calls him a pundit. Pundit. He's not a pundit. Big Kshatriya guy. Hey, pundit. Hey, rabbi. Hey, rabbi. Not a rabbi. Yeah. So he's like, what's the word? Chiding him, criticizing him. Then Arjuna accepts it and gets rid of all of his nonsense ideas and starts to ask questions. Okay. So he's made the agreement. I won't have any artificial doubts. Right? I won't come up with things to avoid surrendering. No. There's this comment that many people engage in religion because they're searching for God, but most of them hope they don't find him. Right? Because if you find God, it's very nice looking for God. I'm looking for God. It's very interesting. It's nice. It's fun. It's a great hobby. But then when you find God, then you got to surrender. Yeah. Prabhupada says that doubt is a natural symptom of intelligence. Right? Until you find God, then it's a symptom of insincerity. Yeah. So Arjuna has many doubts. That's why we have 18 chapters, many questions, but they're all sincere. Different opportunities. Should I engage in jnana yoga? Should I engage in dhyana yoga? Should I engage in karma yoga? And Krishna keeps coming back and again to bhakti yoga, like that. So it's a very, very important book. How many verses? Okay, and it's from a bigger book. What book is that? Okay, how many verses in the Mahabharata? 100,000. Has any single human being ever translated the entire Mahabharata? Maybe Ganguly. There's a Ganguly version, but most cases you see, completed by his disciples. Even Prabhupada, the Bhagavatam. Yeah. And so it's so gigantic, so vast, and so many discussions and everything else. But out of it, which is maybe two things are especially famous out of the Bhagavad Gita. Out of the Mahabharata. One is the Bhagavad Gita, and the other is, Vishnu Sahasranam. That's two. There's one more. Instructions of Bhishma Dev. Yeah. Maybe Yaksha Prashna. Yeah. The questions by the Yakshasha. Yeah, so, wow, Bhagavad Gita stands out very prominently. If you have some philosophy, okay, and the place you have to test it is in India. If you have machines, where do you test them? Where's your challenge? Who will challenge you on making machines? Germans. Who will challenge you on romance stories? Who will challenge you on good food? Italians, Italy. Yeah. So, India is philosophy. You can many different, devotees will tell you that, everything else, scholars and everything else. And if you want to establish your philosophy in terms of the Vedic standard, you want to take a standard, you have three things you have to three books, three pieces of literature that you have to deal with. Okay? Any Preston, Trion? Trion, Preston, Trion. Okay. He knows. What are they? Anybody know? The three things, three books, three references to there. No? Yeah? No?
Huh? Bhagavad Gita. Huh? You know? Bhagavad Gita, Vedanta Sutra, and the Upanishads. Prabhupada said the Upanishads are the headlines of the Vedas. You're trying to establish your philosophy, if you can establish it in terms of the Upanishads, very strong. You know? So yeah, from Madhvacharya we have so many, commentaries on the Upanishads like that. So Bhagavad Gita, everybody, Shankaracharya has a commentary on Bhagavad Gita. Everybody. It's very prominent, very important book. So many translations. Before Prabhupada's translation came out, there were a lot of translations every year. I think the translation that was very popular in the West was by Christopher Isherwood, and it was very flowery but completely incomprehensible. Completely incomprehensible. Yeah. So Prabhupada came out and gave us what? Bhagavad Gita as it is, with very, very clear translations. Prabhupada said, I translated the Bhagavad Gita so even a first-class fool can understand it. And Gunagrahi Maharaj said, I still have trouble understanding it. So, yeah. In the end of this first chapter or second chapter, Krishna says, I'm now going to explain everything to you, and if you follow these rules and regulations, then you will go to Brahma Nirvana. Who likes the word nirvana? Which group? Buddhists, yeah, they all want to go to nirvana. Okay, so yeah, it says right in there, if you follow this book, you will go to Brahma Nirvana. How does Prabhupada translate Brahma Nirvana? As the kingdom of God. So the Buddhists are rolling over in their stupas, hearing that Brahma Nirvana being translated as the kingdom of God. Even in technical Sanskrit, it's not going to come across as that. But Prabhupada wanted to make it clear. Yeah, that's the conclusion. Everything else is there. Yeah, he wants people to understand. It's a monotheistic text. So then Krishna, Arjuna, they go through so many different, discussions on different things. There's the banyan tree of material existence. There's Sankhya, Bhumir Apo, Nalo Vayu, Kamano, Buddha Ivacha. And every aspect. Then it goes into the Sankhya with more details, 24 elements. And Prabhupada says if you want to understand more, then you can read the Bhagavatam. So very, very fundamental text. And then in the 10th chapter, Arjuna says, I'm an ordinary person. I'm doing this and that. I have all these responsibilities, especially as a Kshatriya. There's at least 3 emergencies every day. What to speak of more than that. And so how can I contemplate you in the middle of all these activities and stuff, Then Arjuna, Krishna says, well, you can contemplate these different manifestations. Sanskrit? Vibhudimat sattva. Okay, so what is one example Krishna gives in the 10th chapter of something that you can meditate on? Anybody? What does he say? Meditate upon pineapples and shaving cream. Meditate upon ladies' fashion magazines, football scores. No? Think of any? Huh? I am the taste of water. Rasoham apsakonteya. Yeah, try it. Prabhupada says, okay, what's another very common one? There's two that Prabhupada very much emphasizes, the taste of water and, the light of the sun. Anybody see the sun today? Everybody miserable today? Yeah. The sun is an incarnation of Aniruddha, the Chaturvyuha. Aniruddha is the predominating deity of the mind. So without sufficient sunlight, it is impossible to keep good mental health. Becoming depressed, angry, all these things. So Prabhupada says these 2 things, everybody, you experience them and you can just contemplate them. You take some time out when it's a sunny day and go outside and just, meditate upon how everything comes from the sun. How much energy does the sun have? Are we 1,000 miles from the sun? Are we 10,000 miles from the sun? Are we 100,000 miles from the sun? How far are we? Huh? 93 million miles. People say million, million, million. If you just take the newspaper, the New York Times with the periods, I think 1 million periods is enough to go back to the moon and back 5 times or something. Million is a big number. How long does it take for light to come from the sun? Huh? Huh? Yeah, 8 minutes. Sun's a long way away. How big does it look in the sky? Yeah, yeah. But when you get bigger, when you get closer, yeah. Yeah, okay. There's actually an idea about making a globe around the sun. It's actually some project, and then like getting all the energy or something. Okay, you could do that, right? Okay. Yeah. And then you can, of course, you can calculate the surface area of a sphere pretty easily, okay. Then, of course, you can calculate the, the area of the Earth, right? How many Earths would it take to decorate that entire sphere? 100? 1,000? It's unbelievable. Maybe again, like, I don't know, 500,000 Earths would take to cover up. So the Earth, with one tiny thread of its power, maintains all life on Earth. All life on Earth, everything else. So he says, contemplate these things. I'm the light of the sun. I'm the taste in water. Anybody have another one? Huh? Fragrance of the earth. Yeah, among mountains, I am the Himalayas. Yeah, Meru. Yeah. And some of these things are things that we don't believe in or don't know about. Yeah. But a lot of them are very common and very practical. Then he finishes the 10th chapter, and he says, ISKCON stito jagat. But what, Arjuna, all these details, yeah, they're nice, but ISKCON stito jagat. Ekanksa. Yeah. One spark, one fragment. I maintain everything. Krishna and his Paramatma feature is maintaining the microphone, the table, the Houston, everything. So what happens in the 11th chapter? Anybody here teaching Bhakti Shastri? What happens in the 11th chapter? How does Arjuna start it off? You remember? Yeah, he says, hey, in the last chapter you mentioned like how you're maintaining everything. Can I see that? Yeah. And Krishna is enthusiastic to show it. Not really. It's like somebody comes back from the war in Iraq and he got a Medal of Honor, for, if you see what people do to get the Medal of Honor, it's like, they deserve it. Yeah, really incredible stuff. People, who win that award. Yeah. So anyway, somebody came back and he was, a very decorated soldier, and he got shot 28 times. One of these guys was like, what was it? He was from Mexican background, kind of a simple person, but he got in the army and, made his way up. A very senior guy, sergeant. So I think it was in Vietnam. And one team of maybe like company, maybe 40, 50 people was surrounded by an entire regiment, and the news was coming back, getting destroyed, everything else. So they're sending out a relief helicopter, and he just heard about it and just ran out in his regular clothes and just jumped on board with practically nothing, So he got there, and yeah, they were trapped and being shot up and everything else, and he was pulling them back into a smaller perimeter, and he got shot in the leg, he got shot here, every place else. And he got some of them on the helicopter, then he went back and had to get some documents from somebody else and dragged him, but he was dead and everything else. And he was just shot up left and right and everything else, and shooting back and defending and driving them back. So finally they got the helicopters back, and they're waiting, taking the bodies out, everything else. And the doctors, diagnosed him as dead, like that and so on. He was just lying there immobilized and everything else. So they're zipping the bag up, and he spits in the doctor's face. That's all he could do. Like that. Yeah. The doctor says,
he's going to make it. So it took, a long time to recover. They said, you're out of the army. And so at night, when he wasn't supposed to do it in the barracks hospital thing, he would just force himself to walk up and down. The other soldiers lying in the beds would tell him, until finally he was qualified to go back and do it again. So he got the Medal of Honor. So somebody at a family barbecue asked some family member, hey, tell us about this and that and how you shot people in the head and all this kind of stuff. And he says, hey, I want to talk about that. I want to talk about that. So Krishna's asking Arjuna is asking Krishna, show us how you're God, how you're controlling everything and doing all these things, And Krishna says, nah, I don't want to show it, So finally he keeps pushing him for his own benefit. Well, maybe a little bit, but for other people. So other people will know that when you claim to be God, this is what you're talking about, and so on, Then I think he says, Hanta. Krishna says, Hanta, hey, okay, buddy, you want to see it, I'll tell you about it, And then what happens? He shows the Virat Roop. What is the Virat Roop? How do you describe it? Come on. You all know Bhagavad Gita. You there. Bhagavad Gita. What is the Virat Roop? Huh? All the incarnations. Yeah? Okay. Yeah, more. Tell us more about it. Arjuna's hair was standing on end. His eyeballs were bulging from the sockets. All the soldiers, not everything. Everything was being eaten by Krishna in his mouth. It's very nice to chant the whole thing, right? What did Arjuna see? Did he see everything around him? That's all he saw? Huh?
He saw everything past, present, and future, whatever you'd like to see.
He saw everything, everywhere, past, present, and future that existed or could exist at one time. And of course, it's like, here it was standing on end. Very, very beautiful section. Incredible, Okay, and then Krishna calms down and, what does he show him next? He showed him his universal form. Next he shows him his four-armed form, which you can, relate to and have a personal relationship. You can go to Vaikuntha. Lakshmi is like a mother to everybody else there. Nobody in Vaikuntha is older than 16 years old. It's like a high school graduation, trip to Disneyland. Everybody gets on the buses with the teachers, and it's the last time we're going to be together and packing lunches, and some parents come. And it's in Disneyland. This is Vaikuntha's like. Like everybody's there, and Lakshmi's 16 years old, and she's, taking care of everybody like that. Yeah. And then he shows him one more thing. He shows him another form. Huh? What's the Sanskrit word? Somyavapu. He shows him a very beautiful form. For 2 verses, maybe? Yes, he's 2 verses. So Krishna's form is there. The universal form is there, his incarnation in different places, his hand and things, and his four-arm form is there, and his 2-arm form is there. It's in the Bhagavad Gita. The gopis are listening, so he has to talk about that. But it's not emphasized. Bhagavad Gita emphasizes the Paramatma and this kind of level. Prabhupada puts much more in his purports, much more. Yeah. But that's the level. So Bhagavad Gita takes us to the level of Krishna is everywhere. He's the oldest. He knows everything. He can protect everybody. He's everybody's dearmost friend. And Sarva Dharman Parityajya Mamekam Sharanam Bhaja. I've discussed all these kinds of dharma, Kshatriya dharma, all these different things, which you give it all up. You're not going to solve these problems by any of these things. You got to let me do it. This picture up here, I think, is Krishna as the greatest multitasker, right? Everybody wants to be a multitasker nowadays. And so Krishna's up there on Kaliya's heads, right? Showing us how to do multitasking. Krishna's dancing from one head to another. Like that. Yeah, we're not going to solve these problems, especially in Kali Yuga. So Krishna says, abandon everything and surrender unto me. Okay, I will, Masuchaha. You've been worried about anxiety, society, conxity. Don't worry. I'll protect you like that.
Yeah. Then Sanjay then talks about it. This is the most wonderful conversation, everything else. I've been able to understand it directly by the parampara, so glorifies the Bhagavad Gita. And then, of course, there's so many purports. Prabhupada says, well, this is not applicable now. We don't need to do this. Yeah. But in his books, all through the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Srimad Bhagavatam, Prabhupada again, and the Acharyas again and again and again, all the way through the 12th canto, Ras Lila chapters, you're quoting from the Bhagavad Gita. And so you see which verses they use, how they use them. Look at those purports. Yeah, we never give Bhagavad Gita up. We just keep learning it more and more profoundly. Bhagavad Gita is Krishna's lotus feet. Or the dirt under Krishna's lotus feet. Right? Yeah. So Bhagavad Gita ki jai. Any questions at this point? Comments? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I think we're supposed to take a microphone here for our online audience, which is sitting at home enjoying a hot cup of organic something. Not cocoa. Yeah, maybe cocoa. Nobody's watching. Grihastas can take cocoa. Yeah.
So, Maharaj, the Soumya Vapu form, and how is it different from the, Krishna was present in the two-arm form already there. So what is the difference between the Soumya Vapu form and then it is actually, the form that he was present with Arjuna?
Okay. So kind of the real answer to this in detail is in instructions to Sanatana Goswami, no? And there Sanatana Goswami goes through Vaibhava, Vibhava Prakash, Swayam Prakash, Taratmika, and he goes through all these different expansions and incarnations, For example, what is the difference between Krishna with two arms in Vrindavan and Krishna when he expands himself in the Rasa Lila, right? Yeah, so all these things are different, in different forms, different rasas like that. So Krishna in Dwarka, Krishna in Hastinapur, doesn't play the flute. Yeah. He doesn't manifest conjugal pastimes in the mood of Vrindavan. He doesn't reciprocate these things. There's always, Arjuna has some Sakyaras, but then he has to be forgiven, for acting like these things and so on. So it's the two-armed form, as a go premanjana churita bhakti vilochanena santa sadaiva vidayushti vilokayanti yam shama sundaram chinta gunaswarupam. Yeah. So if the gopis go to the battle of Kurukshetra, Mother Yashoda goes, they see Krishna behind all these things. Everything's coming from Krishna. It's difficult for devotees to appreciate the Paramatma because we always see, Krishna doing things. So he's not showing all of his force and power. He's just showing his. Maybe, I don't know, a feature, not even Vaikuntha really, maybe, I don't know, maybe a little bit more than Vaikuntha. Yeah, more than Vaikuntha. Yeah, okay. Other questions? Wow, okay, yes. You pass the microphone back, yeah. And probably you're going to have to translate the question for me, yeah.
Krishna. I was wondering a little bit about Brahma Yoti in the terms of Brahma Samadhi and how one can become fully aware of Brahma while at the same time thinking of the light that extends from Krishna in the form of the sun.
Okay, can you, Sundar Gopal, I'm certified 70% deaf. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm not quite clear.
I was wondering about, is Brahma Yoti the same as the sun that we should meditate on when thinking of Krishna, when meditating on Krishna? When in a state of samadhi?
You don't talk louder. The microphone doesn't help, it makes it worse. Yeah.
You said meditating on the light of the sun.
Yeah.
How is that related to Brahma Jyoti?
Oh, okay. Very, 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 very remote. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. The Jyoti means light. So the Brahma Jyoti is the effulgence of Krishna. You know, like that. He has his effulgence, his energy. But it doesn't exist within time or space. Exactly. You know, it's like, you know, for example, you know Bobby Fischer? No, okay, I'm trying to think of somebody you know. Bobby Fischer is maybe the greatest chess player who ever existed, you know. Okay, you know Bill Gates. You've heard of Bill Gates, right? You know? So if Bill Gates walked in the room now, right? Yeah. Like, as his effulgence, you'd see he had a couple security people with him, everything else, and his clothing and everything else, and so forth, so on. And you could see from his personal features, there would be an effulgence of recognition, and everybody here would recognize him. And how much money does Bill Gates have? You know, I think he has $10,000 million. Would you like $1 million? No. How would you like $10 million? $10,000 million? Yeah, so that's his, you know, it's an intellectual effulgence, it's a mental effulgence, it's, you know, yeah. So the Brahma Jyoti is, and from that then we get, you know, the material elements are a part of that effulgence, and then the light of the sun, yeah, so we can see. Again, it's like, you know, we get a little bit of an idea, and that's why Krishna says, well then, let's think about, you know, my Paramatma feature, which is more intimate. The Brahma Jyoti is just Krishna's effulgence, like someone with Bill Gates, he has an effulgence, right? He can't go any place and not be a big famous movie star. He goes into a cafe in the evening and it's just, yeah. So that's the effulgence. Then beyond that, of course, more intimate, then is his Paramatma feature, which has, you know, relating to him in terms of his role and how he does stuff and, you know, and these kind of things. But still it's like, you know, the person's role. He's the king, and, you know, the king's effulgence, the country, then the king as an official and signing documents, you know. And then finally, Bhagavan means, you know, the king says, hey, you're from so-and-so. Who's your aunt? Oh, she's my aunt too. And then, okay, then it goes from, you know, the kingdom to the king as a dignitary, and finally the king as a person. Okay, so I think now we have a very, very special ceremony over here. The Wizard of Oz. We'll now talk about it. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Bhagavad Gita. Battle of Kurukshetra ki jai. I hope you're all ready now to go out and kill your grandfathers. Okay.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, thank you so much. Maharaj, when you mentioned Wizard of Oz, I thought you were referencing Raghava Chaitanya Prabhu. So I'm walking here because he's asking me to come here, and he gives me his notes. He should be the Wizard of Oz reporting this, because he is the one who did this Gita Smriti Yajna program by himself. So the class of 2024 started on Guru Purnima not last year, but in 2023, and ended in December of 2024, followed by Gita Mahatyam by Varaha Purana. Durga Mataji taught recital and pronunciation, and Dipti Mataji helped assessment for some time. In the first batch, we had 7-year-old who memorized till 11 chapters and won few Gita competition in Canada. In the first batch, Gopika Mataji and Durga Mataji taught recital and pronunciation. Samant Panchal Prabhu helped with the assessment. Our third Yajna season will begin February 4th, so in just a few days, which is on Tuesday, Srila Advaita Acharya's appearance day. So the schedule with the Gita Smriti Yagna is every week there are 2 study sessions. So 2 sessions that you study, and one is the assessment session. And all 3 sessions are 7 to 8 p.m. Central Time. Promptness is a must. Raghav Chaitanya Prabhu always reminds me, make sure we put this on the website in the instruction. So the study sessions are Tuesdays and Thursdays from 7 to 8, and then Mondays is the assessment. Everything is done online. There is lots of information on our website where you can get the information. So if you go to our website, ISKCONHouston.org, and you look under activities and find Gita Smriti Yagna, you will find all the details. There is no cost for you to register. However, donations are always appreciated so that the temple can be supported. So with that, Raghava Chaitanya Prabhu is going to be handing out a few certificates. Mamata Dham. Shashi Sanam. Radha Venkat. Dipti Adapalli, they're not here. Bhavna Luthra, she's here. Harita Kanaboyana, not here. Vrinda Hemavati, not here. Oh boy. Anjaneyulu Garidipuri. Ajay Pillai. Maya Shah. Jayanti Kangovi. Congratulations to each and every one of these participating students. Gita Smriti Yagna ki jai. So Raghava Chaitanya Prabhu is going to play a short video before I share with you some details about our program. Please stand by for the technical difficulties. We do not have a sponsor for our Sunday Feast program, so if anyone here would like to become a sponsor today, you're more than encouraged to become a sponsor for our Sunday Festival program, especially when we're celebrating Gita Smriti Yagna success. Mamata Dham and Bhavana Luthra, right? Thank you. They just graduated from this wonderful program and they're sponsoring today's Sunday feast. Thank you so much, Hare Krishna. Make sure you're in the front to help us offer Arati lamp when the Pujari is ready to do the Arati at 7 o'clock. His Grace Radha Krishna Prabhu's Vyasa Puja, his appearance day celebration, is on Saturday, February 1st at 9:45 in the morning. RSVP is required so that you can be served prasadam. You can always come, but if you don't RSVP, guess what? There will be no prasadam for you. His Grace Dinabandhu Prabhu is visiting Houston. He is Srila Prabhupada's disciple. He will be here from February the 5th through 13th. And anyone who would like to have a home program with Dinabandhu Prabhu or provide some service, please see Padaduli Mataji. She'll be happy to provide the details to you. Gaura Purnima, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's appearance day, is Thursday, March 13. 6 o'clock is the program in the evening, or 6:30 for most of you that come in on time. There is a special Mahakirtan or Sankirtan program that our devotees do every Saturday following Gaura Purnima on Saturday, March 15th. Details will be shared with you as we get closer to you. Every Thursday night there is a Kirtan program that goes here in the temple. Every Saturday afternoon there is a Sankirtan program that also happens at many different locations in Houston, especially in Memorial Hermann Park. And since we're still working on the details to get you to watch the video, wanted to share a few things with you. Those of you that are here occasionally, but maybe not regularly, when you go to Gauranga Hall and when you're there honoring prasadam or taking your dinner plate, make sure you leave the space on the tables and chairs for the seniors or devotees that are not able to sit on the floor. When you see a young 10 or 12 or 13-year-old sitting at the table, then a Mataji or Prabhu that has to sit on the table is struggling to find room. So if you can help us with that, that'll be great. Also, when you come in, make sure you place your shoes in a proper shoe location and not just strewn around everywhere in the building. And I believe we are almost ready. Our technical maestro is here. The students for the Gita Smriti Yagna program also wanted to give a gift to their leader, Raghava Chaitanya Prabhu. So Prabhu, this is a gift from your students, the participants. Raghava Chaitanya Prabhu. Thank you so much.
Namah Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasaya Putale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Nite Namine Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasaya Putale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Nite Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pastyatyatishatarine Tarine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna